Welcome to Thomasville Insights with the City of Thomasville. On the podcast, we'll talk to experts on everything from Thomasville history and events to daily operations and city business, all while having some fun in the process. We're your hosts.
I'm Austin Reams.
And Christy Owens.
Welcome to Thomasville Insights with the City of Thomasville. I am Austin Reams, and I'm so glad y'all could join us today. And I am here. We finally, my plan to get rid of Ricky has finally happened. And I'm just kidding, Ricky. But we have Christy Owens with me co-hosting today. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's been a while, so I may be a bit rusty, but I've got big shoes to fill since Ricky's not here today, so we'll see how well that I do.
Yeah, Ricky and his legion of fans. So
they're probably all sad.
That's right. We told him the wrong day. We told him, we're recording on Thursday, so that way we can get Christy in here. But well, Christy, you're a Taylor Swift fan. What do you think about this podcast dropping here soon?
Yeah, so this will air after I guess the podcast launches, but I'm excited to hear what she has to say about her new album coming out.
All right. So
Are you a Swiftie?
I am not excited. I don't really care. Not that I don't. I'm the only American that doesn't have strong opinions about Taylor Swift. I don't dislike her. I don't hate her. I'm like, okay, not in my lane. But I'm always the football part of it with Travis Kelce is always interesting. Him and his brother are very entertaining podcasters. So they're really good. So, and speaking of entertaining, we have a guest with us today. Christy, you want to announce who this is?
Sure. We have April Norton with us. She's the Managing Director of Marketing and Communications for the City of Thomasville. Welcome, April. We're glad to have you join us today on our wonderful little podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we're super mean all the time, so just be ready.
So one of the things I guess we wanted to touch a little bit about a tourism update and then talk a little bit about economic data for Downtown Thomasville and some other things related to economic investment in Thomasville. So we'll kind of start off with tourism. I don't think a lot of people realize that we had a little bit of change with tourism here in Thomasville. Tourism used to be housed under the City of Thomasville, and I guess late last year, tourism, formed its own, I believe, 501c3. So it's a separate organization from the city, and it's run by a separate board. So why don't you bring us up to date and tell us a little bit about that change?
Yes, so tourism has historically operated as a department of the City of Thomasville and has been a great operation. However, last year the decision was made to become a separate entity. So Destination Thomasville Tourism Authority is under the new leadership of Jackie Leatherman, and certainly still very much a partner to the City of Thomasville. We value greatly from tourism. But the focus, some may not know, is that it's not just the city limits of Thomasville. We are surrounded with beautiful land throughout our county, beautiful plantations, and there's so much value in the historic preservation throughout the county. And so there is just a greater focus now with tourism countywide. And certainly a big portion of that focus is within our city limits with the beautiful historic downtown Thomasville.
Yeah, let's kind of staying on that. I mean, what role is the city going to take to continue supporting tourism and obviously recognizing its huge economic value?
So there is so much value to the City of Thomasville to make sure that tourism continues to be a draw. And we actually still operate the visitor center. So we have the best situation of where we are the ones welcoming each of our visitors into Thomasville and sharing with them the opportunities of what they can see, explore, and discover, of which our tourism authority has rebranded recently to Discover Thomasville. And so certainly being able to be the face of each of our visitors, that is an operations that the city will maintain, and welcoming our guests.
Very good.
So one of the thing, I think a lot of people probably in Thomasville do realize this, but our downtown is probably one of the top tourist attractions for us here and plays a strong economic role here for the city and for, Thomasville and Thomas County as well. And one of the things people may not realize is that, we're part of the MainStreet network, and there's some particular standards that we have to uphold in order to keep that MainStreet accreditation each year. So tell us a little bit about what that means to be involved with the MainStreet program and what kind of goes into that process of keeping that accreditation each year.
So y'all know I love any opportunity to talk about downtown Thomasville.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
It is a passion for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to break in. So April has a big background in Main Street. So and still kind of is helping Katie Ketchum get going. But you've been had either been in Main Street or been around it for quite some time.
So in my 15-year journey with the city, of which both of you have been a part of that journey every year of that, so great following here. 10 years of that has been within the MainStreet program, and in some efforts of Main Street, the downtown preservation and revitalization and or tourism. And but what is so fascinating is that the MainStreet program launched in 1980, and Thomasville launched its MainStreet program in 1981, just a few months later. And so it has been a great honor for Thomasville, with its preservation efforts and value in downtown and the revitalization of our small businesses and historic preservation, to be a Main Street city literally for 44 years. And what is also a fun fact to share, and I love letting people know, is that the National Main Street named Thomasville a Great American Main Street City in 1998, and we were the first city in the entire state of Georgia to receive that honor. And it is a one-time honor. It's not something that you can receive again. And so for us to be able to pave that way for the state of Georgia has been a true effort and leading Georgia. And I just so happen to, with the City of Thomasville, have had that opportunity personally to be a part of that growth in serving on the Georgia Downtown Association the past 6 years and representing our Southwest Georgia region, Region 10, in the Main Street program.
It's been really neat, just kind of as an aside too, but just how big downtowns are. We see a lot of downtowns in Southwest Georgia kind of popping up and making, kind of organizing and, the experience, my experience of downtown as a teenager is way different from my teenagers downtown. They're here all the time and have had a great time. And I see that kind of everywhere now, the importance of it. So anyway, it's just kind of neat to see how it's changed and grown and gotten better. And, it was already good, but, just kind of, it is really kind of way more a part of everybody's kind of regular routine to me downtown. So pretty neat to see that happen. And probably you've seen it even over your career as you started, what was that like maybe 10 years ago,
Absolutely.
15 years ago as compared to now? What's your take on that?
Well, it's crazy. Charlene Salea, who we get to credit really launching this program, she took a walk with me close to 10 years ago and was like, I don't know how you do it. I was like, Charlene, you started this. This is your fault.
Yeah.
So we just get the honor of continuing it forward. So it really is truly the balance of historic preservation, but also modernizing it to where our younger generations feel value in it and continue to see the importance of supporting small business and preserving the historic architecture. And it really is truly the model of Main Street of preservation-based revitalization in preserving historic downtowns, of which we certainly have here in Thomasville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I mentioned earlier in talking about the accreditation program, in order to keep that MainStreet designation each year. And part of that process is, there's a lot of reporting that you have to submit monthly and as well as yearly. And the great thing about that reporting is it just helps you stay on track in order to, see those numbers each month and how many businesses are opening and how many new jobs are coming to downtown Thomasville, because you're having to track that information. And we've just been fortunate here to have some really great economic growth in downtown Thomasville. And like I said, we're able to track that and see that growth. And I know, last year, some of those numbers included, there were 13 new businesses that either were new or expanded in downtown. We had, that created 41 net jobs. We've had a lot of private investment downtown. I believe last year there were 3 buildings that were rehabbed, resulting in about $193,000. So, like I said, being able to track those numbers every month and see that growth all the time, it's just a wonderful thing to witness and to know that downtown does play a wonderful part in keeping Thomasville economically viable for the people here as well as the businesses that open up here. So are any other numbers that you want to share or talk about related to some of that reporting that you have to do?
Yes, it is a very rigorous monthly reporting process, and new to that in this past year is that not only do we have to report to Georgia MainStreet, but annually we also have to report to the national MainStreet, which does give us our accreditations as a Georgia Exceptional Main Street City. So we are a GEMS community. There are only 20 in the state of Georgia out of 91 Georgia Main Street cities. And it really is just showcasing the vibrant downtown district and the positive impact that we have. And as I mentioned, really paving the way and setting those standards and those numbers for the state of Georgia. Our downtown growth since 1981 is we've had 379 net gain in businesses, which has created a little over 1,400 job opportunities. And so that's right in the downtown district. And also since 1981, there has been $168 million in both public and private investment and reinvestment into downtown Thomasville. And as we looked back at the West Jackson streetscape and the whole creative district vision plan, what we noticed is that the private investment matched the public investment, which truly shows the value that the city has in reinvesting their dollars into the community. And so when COVID hit in 2020, we were scared of what those numbers would look like. And so we took it as a 5-year review to really see the impact of our Main Street program. And we actually had the best year we have ever had that year. But also we were one of the few communities that didn't shut down.
Right.
We were still in operations day in and day out here. And so that 5-year impact, just in the past 5 years, we have seen right at $65 million in both public and private investments into downtown Thomasville.
Wow, that's awesome. There's all kinds of ways to talk about it and just fascinating aspects of it, but also just, you're part of the City of Thomasville and the City of Thomasville Economic Development Team. And also, so that includes all of Thomasville. So, as we see the value of downtown, we also see the value of, talk about the value of all the businesses and all of that for economic development.
Yeah, so truly supporting small business, that's what Thomasville is. It is just a breed of small businesses, and thankfully in Thomasville, we really support small business, and so we're thriving in that. A few years ago, we looked and we saw that the City of Thomasville really had strong efforts in supporting our large industrial businesses. And then, of course, we had our Main Street program really focusing in on the downtown development district. And what we saw that we were missing is really supporting the small businesses throughout our city limits. And so there has been a lot of effort with the partnership of our friend Andy Goodwin, and really focusing on...
Is that what he is? Okay.
Our friend.
Our friend?
He's a friend. We call ourselves Team Solution.
I like to give Andy a hard time, and it is
We do.
extremely easy.
I think he likes for us to give
Exactly.
him a hard time.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
That's right. So it truly is a partnered effort, using all of our resources, not even, just locally with the Chamber and Imagine Thomasville, and but it's the Small Business Development Center that is, with the University of Georgia, and it's using the resources that the state offers, whether that's Georgia Cities Foundation or the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. There's so many resources that we have out there that we can take advantage of to support our small businesses within the community.
Yeah, and we do have, the City of Thomasville has recently hired a new MainStreet director. Brandy Avery, who was our previous MainStreet director, she has transferred over to our marketing department, and she's taken on a new role there. All the events that were hosted under MainStreet have now moved to our marketing department, and Brandy will still be leading those efforts. And tell us about our new team member, Katie Ketchum, that we've just hired as our new MainStreet director.
Yeah, so she's not new to our community at all, with a strong focus in the YMCA and leading many efforts, one of which our relationship began, is leading our Christmas parade. And but she has a strong background in preservation, in construction, and real estate, and even more so, partnership and strong value in her marketing. And so certainly in Downtown Thomasville, marketing that and understanding the value of downtowns is something we look at. And so, yeah, we're excited to have her take the lead on our MainStreet program. And I think she's in the best position we probably have ever had in a MainStreet director, and that she has 3 former MainStreet directors on her team that's still with the city, one of which is you, Christy.
Yeah, we're excited to have her and everything that she brings to our organization. And hopefully we'll have her on a future podcast. She's only been in her role maybe 2 months now, so she's still fairly new. So we'll give her some time to adjust, and hopefully we'll have her on a future podcast episode and introduce her voice to all of you out there. And so now we're going to transition to Austin and his wonderful Sounds of the City to see if we can stump April and see if she can guess our sound. No one guessed it during the last podcast.
Oh, goodness.
Nobody guessed it. And so we're going to try it again. And again, you do win a prize, not city staff, but those who write in on Facebook and give us a guess. There are some marketing department swag you can win. So for all the glory. So this the hint I gave last show was this is in a city park. It may not be a park noise, but it was captured in a city park. So here we go. You'll hear the rumble of an engine here. So here we are, Sounds of the City.
I think I got it.
What you got?
Well, it's our Public Works Department doing landscaping.
Okay.
Do I have to be more specific?
No, you don't. Public Works Department, landscaping in a park. All right.
I was thinking maybe tree trimming.
Okay.
I don't know. It sounded almost like the sound of like a saw, but I'm not sure. I'm stumped on this one. I'm not really. I'm
Okay,
not sure.
two good guesses. And again, audience, please let us know via Facebook what you think the sound is. And again, you may get a much coveted Chris White city manager bobblehead.
Right. If you think you know what the sound is, if you just want to mention on our Facebook post about the podcast in the comments, just name your guess of the sound, and then if you are correct, we will reach out to you with a wonderful prize package.
And it's not a Chris White bobblehead because nobody would want that. But I love giving our city manager a hard time.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't mention as we end up, though, we did not mention about some of the tax revenue that MainStreet's known to bring in. So what can you tell us more about that, April?
Well, it is very interesting in the support of small business. Actually, every dollar a community uses to support its local Main Street program leverages an average of $21.73 in new investment. And that truly makes our Main Street one of the most successful economic development strategies in all of America.
Yeah, we could certainly talk, spend a lot more time talking about all the wonderful advantages of Thomasville having a Main Street program. And April, we certainly appreciate you joining us today and sharing some of that information with us. And we hope to have you back on a future podcast episode.
Thank you.
And before we close out today, I do want to mention a couple of announcements. We have a Coffee and Conversations event that's coming up on August 26th. That will be from 9:30 to 10:30 at the Thomas County Public Library. That is just an opportunity for the public to come out, have a cup of coffee with us, meet with city leadership. Maybe there are some questions that you have that you would like to ask directly to our city manager or assistant city manager or other city staff. So this is a great opportunity for you to get in front of them and ask those questions. So we encourage you to come out on August 26th. We also have our next First Friday on September 5th. The band for that event will be Trey Pierce and the T-Stones. They will kick off the concert at 8 o'clock at the Ritz Amphitheater.
And let me jump in. That's a really good band, y'all.
It is. It's a really good band.
They really do a good job.
We
have a lot of good bands, but
they are
They're my
really good.
favorite.
One of our favorites have been here in the past, and so we're excited to have them back again. But First Friday kicks off at 5 o'clock on September 5th, where you can shop and dine with some of our merchants downtown. And then the concert starts at 8. And then we have another event coming up in September called Meet Me in Paradise. That is where we will sort of have a ribbon cutting to introduce the public to the park improvements that have recently taken place out at Paradise Park. Thomasville Entertainment Foundation will be hosting a free concert during that event. That kicks off at 11:30 and it runs until 2 p.m. So like I said, music, a ribbon cutting. It's going to be family friendly, children's activities. So we encourage everyone to come out if you haven't already had the opportunity to see some of the wonderful changes that have taken place at Paradise Park. This is a great opportunity to come enjoy a fun event and see those changes. So again, we thank you, April, for being here. Austin, I enjoyed hosting with you today, and we encourage everyone to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite listening app.
Maybe we made Ricky proud today.
That's right. We hope you made you proud, Ricky. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Thomasville Insights with the City of Thomasville. The show is produced by the City of Thomasville Marketing Department. The show's music is by pond5.com. To learn more about the City of Thomasville, visit thomasville.org or follow us on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite listening app so you don't miss an episode. Thanks for listening.